4th of July holiday, but there is encouraging news. Delays and cancellations are a bit better this morning, at least compared to yesterday. NBC's Tom Costello is at Boston's Logan International with the very latest. He also got some useful tips for us. Hey, Tom, good morning.
Yeah, we've got it all. Good morning. So let's begin with the relatively good news. We still have several hundred cancellations, several hundred delays today, but that is far better than what we had yesterday. Let me just quickly tell you what we have most affected. Newark Airport, 6% of flights canceled. Denver, 5%. Houston, 5% of flights canceled. What's the common denominator there? It's United Airlines. All of those are United hubs. Yesterday, United canceled 26% of flights. Just checked. Right now, 11% of flights canceled with United. So the airline is making improvements. However, this is going to be a slow go. They have been offering their off-duty flight attendants triple pay to come in and help because they were simply short-staffed on flight attendants. They got behind because of the storms and the crews that didn't have enough rest. So with that triple pay incentive, they've got flight attendants coming in and helping, and they say that they are on the road to recovery. But if you're flying United today, especially in those airports, Denver, Houston, Newark, be prepared for delays and potential cancellations. Midway Airport at the moment is experiencing a delay that could continue through the day with both Midway and O'Hare, because not only is it a weather and a congestion issue, they're also dealing with the smoke, of course, from the fires. And lastly, let me just tell you that, we've talked about air traffic control staffing problems. They are only able to hire about 1,500 controllers a year. They are thousands behind, and this is a years-long problem. They got behind on training during the pandemic when they closed the academy, and so now the catch-up is going to take several years as well. Hold it back to you.
Yeah, so Tom, if you are flying and your flight does get canceled, what's your recourse? What can you do?
You can call my cell phone. I'll do everything I can to help you. All right, not really. Here, let me just give you a quick list of tips. First of all, you should try to deal with this yourself. Don't stand in line at the airport counter if you can avoid. You should also know your rights. You might be able to receive some compensation, perhaps food, perhaps a travel voucher, perhaps an overnight stay. If it's the airline's fault, if it's Mother Nature's fault, you're out of luck. But go to flightrights.gov. That's the customer service dashboard. A few other tips for you to walk through all of this for you. And the bottom line here is that you could ask to transfer your ticket to a different airline. Maybe use one of these common apps, Expedia, for example, Google Flights. Keep in mind, flights are full these days, so you may want to go from airline A to B. Airline B may not have any seats either. This is a time when we are flying at full capacity, and they are expecting tomorrow we may hit an all-time record. 2.8 million flights will be just shy, ever so slightly shy of the all-time record back in Thanksgiving 2019.
All right, Tom, it may be easier just to call Tom's cell phone.
That's what I took away. We put the number on. Number's up.
Kidding, Tom.
It's not, you got to call Roker, too. Okay, because we got to talk about the weather as well. That's one of the issues for air travelers, as is smoke from those Canadian wildfires. It's drifting over the... Than 100 million people under air quality alerts today. Cities like Chicago and Cincinnati just smothered under that unhealthy haze. Farther south, still no let up in the extreme heat. So who are you going to call? Al Roker.
Well, guys, unfortunately, California about to see their first extended heat wave coming in. 71 million people impacted all the way into the south. This summer sizzle continues with heat indexes. Feels like temperatures triple digits from Monroe, Little Rock, on into Houston, Tallahassee as well. And this goes right through the weekend with triple digits and high 90s from Oklahoma City, Tucson, Mobile, down to McAllen, Texas. And the air quality right now, 110 million people at risk for that Canadian wildfire and smoke. Unhealthy right now in Detroit, Pittsburgh, Roanoke, Virginia, Cincinnati, Chicago. Very unhealthy, and air quality alerts through tonight from Green Bay down to Atlanta, into New York and upstate New York as well. Guys?
All right, thanks, buddy. More than a dozen folks were hurt yesterday when an Amtrak train hit a small truck and partially derailed outside Los Angeles. That train with about 200 passengers and crew on board was heading to Seattle. 3 of the cars went off the tracks but stayed upright. Officials say the public works truck became stuck on the tracks at a crossing and was demolished by the collision. The driver did suffer some serious head trauma. The other injuries were described as minor.
An Australian teenager has made skateboarding history, and she almost made it look kind of easy. 13-year-old Arisa True became the first female skater to complete a trick known as the 720. only in competition. So that's 2 complete rotations while airborne. Even more exciting, she did it, by the way, in front of skateboarding legend Tony Hawk. He first landed that move 38 years ago. Arisa hopes to improve on that trick because guess what? She's training for the Olympics in 2024 in Paris.
She's not training. She'll be at the
Arisa,
Oh, yeah.
remember.
And